A gruesome murder in broad daylight. Who committed the atrocity against an ordinary market vendor? And what does the victim's daughter regret? Don't miss out. A shocking investigation by the psychics. Welcome to Psychic Investigations, a project of true and astonishing stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate mysterious paranormal phenomena and high-profile criminal cases. This cat is the only resident of this single-bedroom apartment. Ala, the daughter of its former owner, comes to feed her every day.
This is Mom's apartment, and this is her favorite cat.
Ala's mother, Valentina, was brutally murdered. She was 54 years old.
23 stab wounds and had her throat was slit.
No one understands who would take her life so brutally and why.
Mom never had any enemies.
She was open-hearted and kind. She knew how to turn any conflict into a joke.
And some bastard did this to her.
Valentina was an entrepreneur. She had a small store at the city's central market where she sold wallpapers. The woman was brutally murdered when there were hundreds of people around.
Valentina was at work from 9 a.m. At around 12:30 p.m., she went to bring some items from one of her warehouses, located 400 meters from the store.
A few hours later, Valentina was found dead at the warehouse where she stored her goods.
Who dared to murder her, especially in such a cruel way?
They stabbed her in the heart and cut her throat. Only a beast could do that.
Ala is one of the main suspects in the murder, and people with extraordinary abilities are her only hope to uncover the truth. Molfar Olena Stetsenko receives Valentina's photograph.
I taste blood. It's streaming from my throat and head. I ask the Mother Nature spirits to show me the killer's face. God, the snake is hissing terribly. Such huge eyes, 2 large heads, the snake is curling and hissing, ready to strike. The snake has a home. I see a black building. There are many people there, and they are in pain. If not stopped, the snake will have more victims. More people will die from its venom.
Are more lives in danger? Clairvoyant Ilmira Derbentseva begins working with the woman's photograph.
The woman received some signs. She had a premonition that something was going to happen to her. She saw her murder. She's screaming, and someone is cutting her.
As Ala told us later, her mother indeed had a strange dream before her death.
Mom saw herself with her belly slit open. Hello. Please come in.
Hello.
This is Olena, Ala's cousin. She knew the victim well, and she's also seeking to discover who and why took her aunt's life.
I had a strange feeling that Valentina killed herself, but I couldn't understand how that could be. 23 stab wounds. Nobody can inflict those on themselves.
She bought this apartment for you, didn't she?
Mom bought it for me and helped me with the renovation.
The mother and daughter lived in the same building but in separate apartments. Valentina gifted this apartment to her daughter 3 years before her death, when Ala started living with her husband.
She loved you so much. I sense that she put her personal life aside to help you get on your feet. And she was all by herself. She had no support.
She tried to please you in every way.
Valentina divorced her husband when Ala was 18, claiming that after raising her daughter, there were no more feelings left.
She lived for me.
She was a go-getter. She moved her life forward.
Valentina started her small business back in the 90s. She initially sold perfumes, then clothes, until eventually she got into wallpaper trading.
And you worked with her.
I worked at her store.
Olena claims she started looking for her aunt half an hour after she went to the warehouse and stopped answering her phone calls. At first, Valentina didn't pick up her phone, and then the connection was lost altogether.
I dialed her multiple times, but she wouldn't answer. I dashed to the warehouse, but it was locked.
Valentina always had her keys with her, but the murderer, or murderers, took them, locking the warehouse doors after they killed her.
Olena called me. I suggested we look for the second set of the keys, which was supposed to be at Mom's place. We quickly found it and came here right away. Mom was lying right at the door, facing forward, and there was a large pool of blood around her head.
I think we should talk to her spirit. Close your eyes. I summon Valentina's spirit. She's here.
The cat came.
She came to the portal. Allah, my daughter, give me your hand. Allah, I forgive you for everything. I forgive you.
Why does Valentina forgive her daughter? Could Allah really be involved in her mother's death?
Alla Tabakayeva became one of the main suspects in the murder because she had a motive. After her mother's death, the daughter inherited Valentina's apartment and her business.
You held a knife in your hands.
In my hands? No.
It seems she was murdered with a knife.
You remember, we didn't communicate for a long time. We didn't talk at all. I forgive you.
Allah confirmed that she and her mother indeed had a conflict. The women even stopped talking to each other for a while. However, Allah refused to explain what they argued about.
I tried to ask Valentina's spirit why they fought, but she only turned her head away from me and then said, "A man. We fought because of a man."
A man? But who?
Valentina's spirit kept repeating, "My daughter is not a murderer. My daughter is not a murderer." And then I had a vision of someone's hand slitting Valentina's throat, while her daughter was somewhere else, far from the warehouse.
Alla Tabakayeva works as a beauty artist. She claims that at the time of her mother's murder, she was at home with a client, doing eyelash extensions. Her alibi was proven.
It seems Allah is not guilty of her mother's death. But what about the knife the psychics saw in her hands?
My husband and I found a knife at the warehouse when we came there to work instead of Mom.
Your mother is standing to my right.
My dear, I dream to have grandchildren. Take care of your health, I beg you. You'll soon have a little girl. And you'll find comfort in that child.
Thank you, Mommy. Thank you.
After the investigation, Allah revealed that she indeed has health issues and can't have a baby yet.
We had to go to Valentina's apartment. The spirit was calling us there.
Let's go.
When we entered Valentina's apartment, she started showing me pictures from her life. You had very bad arguments because of a man. Did you argue a lot? We needed to find who the man was, as he could possibly be the murderer. They met in an unusual way. They were brought together.
His mother introduced him to her. She communicated with Mom.
It turned out that 4 years before her death, Valentina met a man who became a warm presence in her life. His name is Vitaly.
You thought he was a gold digger, right?
Well, I really did. That's why I stopped communicating with Mom. I told her, he's using you.
Valentina had no one in her life. She devoted herself entirely to her daughter. But then Alla started living her own life, and Valentina stayed alone, and that's when Vitaly came into her life. She needed someone by her side.
Valentina kept the relationship a secret from her daughter for a long time, as she feared she wouldn't understand, given that Vitaly is 20 years her junior.
I was mad at Mom saying, "Why do you need him?" Many didn't understand it, especially when it turned out later that he's a drug addict and he's been in prison twice.
Rumor has it that before meeting Valentina, Vitaly did his time for drugs and robbery.
And you blame him.
I think he did it. But Mom couldn't break up with him, as she pitied him.
The man has health issues, so it's quite possible that Valentina supported him because she felt sorry for him.
He had his head broken, and his skull is held together with metal plates at the back.
We'd like to talk to him personally.
Could Alla be right in her suspicions? Did the man whom Valentina treated so well really kill her? After all, people say he could be violent at times.
He has spontaneous outbursts of aggression. He could start arguing for no reason. He would scold her and push her. Well, naturally, his head injury couldn't have gone without consequences.
The psychics are heading to meet Vitaly. Alla's husband, Yevhen, has also come to support his wife.
Hello.
Turn off the camera. He won't talk to you. Why are you filming me? Get out of my yard, I say. Get out!
This is Vitaly's mother. Everyone is shocked by her strange reaction. Could her son really be the murderer?
I am not guilty.
But everybody says you are.
Do you really think he killed her?
I'm just trying to find who did it. This is why we're here.
What do you want from Vitaly?
What reasons did I have to kill Valentina?
Her apartment and business.
She wanted to buy me everything, but I refused. I would have had a car and everything, believe me. I swear.
You know she was going to buy him a car.
No, you don't know it? Tell the truth.
Mom didn't talk to me about you.
Stop it right now.
We need to see who has blood on their hands. I feel that Valentina was with him because her life was very difficult. And Vitaly gave her what she hadn't had in a long time. To check if Vitaly was involved in Valentina's murder, I performed a ritual. I don't think it was Vitaly who did it.
Vitaly had no motive to kill Valentina. It would have been more beneficial for him if she'd stayed alive. In that case, he wouldn't have lacked anything, but now he's left with nothing.
We need to return to the site of the murder.
Once we decided to go, the spirit wished to talk to Vitaly. Vitaly, I'm grateful to you for everything you've done for me. I ask for your forgiveness for all the bad between us. Farewell.
Yes, we argued. We lived together and sometimes argued.
Your son didn't do it, and you need to know that.
This is the market where Valentina Tabakayeva worked.
I saw Valentina's spirit. She had a piece of paper in her hands. It's somehow connected to her death. I'll probably go look in the store. Elena, are you coming with me?
Yes, let's go.
I'll check the warehouse.
I feel that she walked here with her murderer. They knew each other.
Did Valentina know her killer? But who is him or them?
This is Valentina's store.
Let me work here. I had a vision of Valentina giving some money to her murderer. Either she was buying something or lending it to them.
People would borrow money from Mom. They knew she would never reject. They asked for small amounts like 50 or 100 hryvnias.
But if Valentina was killed because of debts, and one of those who borrowed money from her really murdered her, why would they do it so brutally?
I see two men standing and smoking. They're watching the store. One is younger, around 25-30, and the other is older, tall, and dark-haired. He's about 35-37. The younger man knew Valentina as he'd asked her to help him previously. I see her handing him money. She helped him. Valentina's spirit appeared again. She showed me a note. There was some kind of spell written on it. Valentina's spirit suddenly said, "I brought death upon myself. I wanted money, but I got death."
Allah revealed that her mother had started complaining about poor profits a few months before her death, so she turned to spells.
I was shocked to hear that.
After the funeral, Allah found a piece of paper with a spell written in her mother's handwriting in her apartment.
There was a spell written on a small piece of paper in Mom's handwriting.
What Valentina recited was a powerful curse. It provoked the forces of darkness to interfere in her destiny. They gave her the money she asked for, but they also took her life.
Indeed, Valentina's business had taken off in the last month. Could this really be the result of the spell?
When people ask the dark forces for success or wealth, they must be prepared to pay a price. And it can be much more valuable than money.
This is all just horrifying. However, there's a real murderer. Who is that, and why did they kill the woman?
We need to go and see what Elmira found. They were following her from the store. They're not far behind. She doesn't see them. The two men who followed Valentina from the store entered the warehouse with her. She knew one of them, so she let him into the warehouse without hesitation. He sneaks looks here. She always carried her money belt around her waist.
This type of money belt has been commonly used by market vendors since the 90s. It allows you to store money and make transactions quickly. It's quite possible that when Valentina opened her belt to lend the man money, the culprits noticed she had a large sum with her. That's when they decided to take advantage of the situation.
They started demanding she give them everything, but she refused. So one of them began stabbing her with a knife.
Allah mentioned that her mother had a considerable amount of money in her wallet, around 7,000 hryvnias, which disappeared after the murder.
She had the sum with her to pay her suppliers for the goods.
He got angry and raged.
This is why I saw the snake with two heads. It was the addict who killed Valentina. One head symbolizes him in a normal state, while the other is what he becomes after he takes drugs.
I see two knives, and the wounds were inflicted with the knife in your hands. You held it. But her throat was slit, most probably, with the other knife. It's got a sharp point.
It's quite possible that the culprits simply tried to scare Valentina with the knife she was found with at the warehouse. However, if one of them is really addicted to drugs, he could really lose control over himself and start stabbing her.
The younger man, who knew Valentina, is of average height, around 170 centimeters. He has fair hair, and his eyes are of a light color.
The older man has large eyes. Among his characteristic features is a tattoo on his fingers. And it seems he has a cross tattooed in between his fingers.
Crosses on the fingers are a criminal tattoo. If someone has this type of tattoo, it means they have served time for robbery.
Is he local or did he come from out of town?
Is there a tram that runs by the water? I can hear the tram bell and the noise of running water.
Over there, there's a river.
And there's also a quite troublesome neighborhood there.
She says, "Release me. We must perform the ritual and let her spirit go."
We urge law enforcement officials to consider and verify all the information provided by the psychics. Perhaps this will help save more human lives.
Thank you so much.
A horrifying murder of a family that will make your blood run cold. Who took the lives of the 3 adults and 2 little children? Don't miss out. The psychics will find the killer werewolf. In this episode, medium Anna Galliers heads for a tiny village in western Ukraine where a terrible murder happened.
The bodies of the 5 members of the Novak family were found in one of the local houses. All of them were brutally stabbed.
Nobody could even think this could ever happen. Such things have never happened in our village.
The victims are 32-year-old Roman Novak, the father of the family, his 28-year-old wife Tetiana, and their 2 children, 4-year-old Vera and 10-month-old Nazar. The man's 52-year-old mother, Anna Novak, who lived with her son's family, was also found dead.
All of them had stab wounds on their bodies and slash cuts on their throats.
According to the forensic examination, all the family members died from excessive bleeding.
No valuables were stolen from the house. The family had no debts or conflicts with anybody. A criminal case was started over a brutal murder.
This is little Vera playing with her brother Nazar. The boy took his first steps only a few weeks ago. The video was shot a month before the awful tragedy that took the lives of these little angels and their parents and grandmother.
If was very hard for all of us.
The Novaks were an ordinary country family. Roman drilled wells, while Tetiana was a seamstress and had spent the recent year on maternal leave. Roman's mother, Anna, was a saleswoman at the local grocery.
The children were so nice. The girl had curly hair and was very pretty. It's a great tragedy for the entire village. It was a decent family, and they all died.
Roman's elder brother Ruslan lost peace of mind with the Novak family's death. His house is only 300 meters away from the place where the horrific tragedy occurred.
I look there all the time. I'm hoping to see Mom or Roman appear from the house.
Roman was 3 years younger than Ruslan. They lost their father when they were young boys. The man was hit by a train. The mother raised the boys all by herself.
When someone close to you dies, you don't know what to do. But when the whole family of your dearest people is gone, I can't even express it with words.
The man's only support now is his family, his wife, Mariana, and 12-year-old son, Alexander. The boy can't even speak of the tragedy, as he lost his 2 cousins, who were as close as siblings to him.
I'm now trying to avoid the house because the place terrifies me a lot.
We're in terror because we don't know who did it.
We contacted the psychics, Anna Galliers to be more precise. I really hope she can help.
I have a vision. A street. It's dark and I see almost nothing. A huge hound of unbelievable size emerges in front of me. Its eyes are bloodshot and it's growling like a werewolf. But the dog seems to be ignoring me. It's standing on the front step of a house. Then it turns around and rushes into the house. My goodness, there are the people from the photo inside, and I hear screams. It's tearing those people apart. This is horrific.
People have been gathering in front of the Novak's house since early morning, waiting for the psychics. This man, Vasil, who is Tetiana's brother, is waiting nervously. He has cerebral palsy. but he's trying to live like everyone else. He always helped his sister and was little Vera's godfather.
I spent a lot of time with her. I could take her to a football game or here or to the rides. Her first words weren't dad or mom, but Vujko, that is, an uncle.
Hello.
Hello. Hello?
I really hope you can help us.
Can I come into the yard?
Sure, sure.
There's a girl spirit in front of me. She's fair-haired and...
The girl is Vera.
She's pointing at the swing as if asking me to swing her.
She loved that swing. It was Vera's favorite spot.
The girl isn't the only spirit here. There's also a little boy. He's dark-haired.
That's her little brother.
I saw a woman's figure. She was all bluish and the expression on her face was terrible. I couldn't even imagine who she was and why she'd come. The boy's spirit is going somewhere. I'm following him. My God. There's a woman's body here. It feels like she was struggling before she died. She's holding a baby in her arms. It's a murdered boy. It's like she was trying to defend him from the beast that was murdering them.
Yes, Tatiana was found here with Nazar, her little son, who was less than a year old.
He was supposed to have his first birthday in 3 days.
There are other dead people in the house. There's an elderly woman here. She was sleeping.
Mom was sleeping there.
The beast runs into the room and throws her down to the floor, and it's like it digs its claws into her body. She's stabbed multiple times.
Mom had lots of stab wounds.
Indeed, the body of Anna Novak, Roman and Ruslan's mother, was found in the kitchen. While the woman was sleeping, the murderer threw her down to the floor and stabbed her 12 times.
We need to go there. There's someone else there. Oh my God, there's a man's body here. He's all bloodied. His throat is slashed.
It was my brother.
According to the local police, Roman Novak's body was found on the floor of the living room. The man was lying face up.
And the girl whose spirit I saw in the yard. She was lying here dead, but not on the floor. Was there something here?
The couch.
The child's throat was cut without any mercy. Oh my goodness, I can't. It's a nightmare. The murderer had no mercy, even on the children. He cut them. I can't be here anymore. Give me water. When the family was found, the door wasn't locked.
It wasn't locked. It was closed but not locked.
According to Ruslan, Roman, Tatiana, and Anna, almost never left the door unlocked because they had small children in their house. Therefore, we can assume somebody else didn't lock it. It was probable that the person had been watching the family and sneaked inside the house while someone of them was entering. Or one of the family members let them in, but in this case, they had to know the murderer well.
Wait. You were suspected of the murder of your sister and her family. And I feel powerful guilt emanating from you. You were the last to see them alive.
Indeed, Tatiana's brother Vasil was among the suspects.
I was the last person who visited them. I left at about 4 in the afternoon and went home.
Hold on, I see the murderer's hand gripping the knife. He's holding it in his right hand.
The police also found that the murderer was right-handed.
And you, Vasil, couldn't hold the knife in your right hand because it's not functioning properly because of your condition.
It's true that Vasil is left-handed. His right hand is partially paralyzed. He can move it a little, but it's too hard for him to take or carry things in it.
The investigators checked if Vasil could be connected to the murder of the Novaks, and it turned out that he had an alibi.
What kind of vehicle was here? There are 2 people in it. Both are men. One is young and the other is elderly. Oh God, the older one. He's standing over the bodies of Tetiana and the infant, and he dashes out of the yard.
Uncle came.
The uncle came to take the family somewhere. He and Roman had arranged that the other day.
As it turned out, Mikhailo, Ruslan's uncle, and his son arrived at the Novaks at 6:30 in the morning.
They were supposed to go to the monastery.
The monastery where Roman and his family were going to go is in a town 15 kilometers away. The man wanted to take his family there to see the sermon by a priest who was visiting the town those days.
At that moment, a very strange voice whispered to me, "Too late." And then there was a horrible whimper, like that of a dog. I got seriously scared. After the uncle ran out of the yard, he took his phone with trembling hands and called an ambulance and the police?
Yes, an ambulance and the police, yes.
The police officers began checking where the man had been and what he had been doing before he informed of what he'd found.
I saw a woman. The woman started laughing awfully. It was like laughter from another world. Now I see that there's somebody who saw the murderer, and they're somewhere nearby.
But who could that be? The police claim there are no witnesses to the tragedy.
It's not a human, but an animal. A dog.
Yes, there is a dog.
The dog saw the murderer.
Usually, the dog is in the front yard, but today, Ruslan tied him in the backyard so he won't hinder the investigation.
The dog was in the back. He could see the street and who entered the yard.
The dog knows something, but I can't speak to animals. I have a colleague, Olena Stetsenko. She speaks to animals. We need to call her.
Okay.
Come on.
The hereditary Mulfer Olena Stetsenko, luckily, happened to be nearby, so she immediately joined the investigation.
Olena, these are the victim's relatives.
I'm so sorry. It's a great loss.
Olena, let's go see the dog. He's our only witness.
This is a ritual strip that helps me speak to animals. Don't be afraid, show me the truth. Show me who you saw. My God, this is so awful. He showed me red eyes and a huge furry dog. It's like a werewolf.
Just like her colleague, the clairvoyant also saw a werewolf, but what kind of entity is that?
The werewolf. It had been walking in this yard for a long, long time. At that moment, I felt the murderer close by to me. I feel the murderer's energy. It's very similar to yours.
It turned out that many of the villagers also suspect Ruslan of the murder of his brother's family and their mother. But is it really so?
Ruslan, I need to see your house. Roman and his brother were separated due to a disagreement. It felt like Roman accused his brother of murder.
He claimed my wife poisoned his dog.
Ruslan had an old dog. Several days before the tragedy, Roman dropped by in the morning and didn't see the dog at his place.
And so Roman began shouting at me, saying it was me and my wife who poisoned the dog.
But it turned out the dog simply broke the leash and ran away. However, nobody understands why Roman thought it was his brother's wife who poisoned the dog.
Did you reconcile?
Yes.
Ruslan has no blood on his hands. But then why did I keep feeling that his energy was similar to the murderer's?
The police checked to see if Ruslan could be involved in the murder of the family, but this version wasn't confirmed.
A woman is connected to your family's deaths. I feel like she provoked a conflict.
It was Sunday. He returned from the church very irritable and started shouting at Titiana. I thought I didn't want to hear that and told him to calm down. Then I went home, but he called me 2 hours later and asked me not to tell anyone about the scandal. He said they had reconciled and everything was fine.
He thought the boy wasn't his son. I asked him, "Who told you that?" But he refused to answer.
Roman blamed Tetiana for unfaithfulness, claiming somebody had told him at the church that Nazar wasn't his son. Vasil recalls that his sister cried bitterly and felt deeply offended.
He calmed down, and after I went home later that day, he called me and apologized. He said it was fine. Thank God, I thought.
Somebody lied to Roman. It was done to slander Tatiana. He was being annoyed on purpose. There was a woman in the house when the murder occurred. Roman began communicating with the woman in the morgue not long before his family was murdered.
Did Roman tell you? Did he tell you he was seeing a woman?
Mom told me after he took away Aunt.
As it turned out, almost 2 weeks before the tragedy, the brother's aunt died from a stroke.
Roman went to the morgue to take his aunt's body, right? And then, after that, he saw the woman and felt a dead body's scent.
He said she was haunting him. Mom said he couldn't sleep at night.
He called and asked to take him to the monastery, and so they arranged to go there on Monday.
So, Roman wanted to go to the monastery himself to speak to the priest because he felt very bad. And when his uncle arrived to pick him up, he saw this nightmare.
The woman. She's next to me. She's running over there to the house.
It was like I was taken back in time to the night of the tragedy. I feel the werewolf. I feel it in the house. It's playing with Roman. It possesses his mind. It's in. It ran in this room. The woman and the infant are sleeping. The woman jumps up, she grabs the baby, she runs, but the devil is chasing her. He's tearing her apart. She falls on the threshold, and the devil turns around and enters here. There's a woman in here. She's elderly. He attacks this elderly woman. He stabs. The woman falls, but he keeps stabbing and stabbing. The blade breaks, but he finds another one.
It's true that there was a knife with a broken blade found in the kitchen next to the murdered woman's body.
He's running again, a little girl. He attacks her and slashes her throat.
Olena! Olena, Olena!
Olena, have some water.
She needs outside. Roman's spirit is here. He kneels and asks to forgive him for killing them all.
This can't be real. How is this even possible?
He loved his mother and his children a lot. He couldn't have done it.
Roman didn't want to murder his family. He was murdering the woman he'd taken from the morgue and who he kept seeing next to him. The demon played tricks on him, so he didn't know he was murdering his family.
He wanted to rid himself of the devil.
And then I realized who the woman whose image I kept seeing was. It was Roman's late aunt, but it wasn't her spirit, but a devil that assumed her appearance. And the demon was laughing at the poor man because it got what he wanted. Roman's mind.
He's praying, feeling the demon is still in him, and he's trying to rid himself of it. I feel the smell of burnt cloth. Did he try to burn himself?
The carpet was burned.
It started burning from the candle.
Everything was shrouded in smoke.
The experts concluded that Roman's body was burned. His pants burned completely, and his body was covered in first-degree burns.
But the man didn't die from the burns. His throat was slashed.
Roman slashed his throat himself.
This is incomprehensible. Did the man really murder all his family and then slash his own throat? But how did he do it?
Roman was an ex-serviceman and used to serve in special military forces. He knew how to administer the right wounds so that a person wouldn't survive.
The knife that was used as the weapon didn't disappear. It was in the house. But what matters most is that there were 2 knives.
2 murder weapons, 2 knives, were found on site. One of them was broken and was lying next to Roman's mother, and the other one was found in the room next to his hand. The murderer took the knives in the house.
The werewolf was Roman. The demon took possession of him occasionally. But above all, he inherited the demon from his father, whom it had destroyed as well.
He was schizophrenic, and he jumped under the train himself.
When a spirit or a demon takes possession of somebody, it simply squeezes out the person's consciousness, and they become weird. What we think of as insanity can, in reality, be obsession.
Thank you very much. The truth is a hard pill to swallow, but we needed to hear it.
The family's friends and relatives are struck dumb. A model family man took the lives of those who he loved most. If you're impressed by the story, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel. Many more shocking stories are coming up.